the first gospel in the Bible. And this is from Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. So Adam and Eve had just recently sinned, and God does what? And I ask people this: did God first punish them, or did God first give them the gospel? And people often say, well, God punished them. Actually, first, God gave them the gospel. First of all, he came down and looked for them. He knew where they were, but he came down because he wanted to have a relationship with them and said, where are you? And that's when he started the discussion. And when you get down to Satan, then God gives this promise from Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I just want to explain to you. I'm going to bring it up, all right? And I'm going to show you because what does it mean? I will make you and the woman hate each other. I will make your children and her children will be enemies, and then her son will crush your head, but you will bite or crush his heel. All right, I want to start off with, I'm going to jump down to here and talk about, when you talk about this, your children, it's talking about Satan. Well, who are Satan's children? Who is that? And for you and I, we call those the unbelievers. The unbelievers are the ones who they reject God, they don't follow God, and so they're going away. Well, if the unbelievers are called Satan's children, who are the opposite of that? And the opposite of that is the believers. And so when you're thinking about this, when it talks about her children, who is her children? Well, you and I, the believers, we are joined together in what's called what? The church. And the church, his people, we are called the bride of Christ. Wow, huh? If you want to learn more, do a search for that and look at that you and I are the bride of Christ. We are his people joined together in the church. So when you're thinking about this, think about God's talking about Satan, your children, and his children called the church, all right? Her children. They will be what? They will be enemies. And then you can go back up and you can talk about this and say, I will make you Satan and the woman. The woman then is what? Is the church. That's his bride, the church, his people. That you and her, the woman, the church, will be enemies. And your children, the unbelievers, and the believers, they're going to be enemies. That's the way life is. But her son, meaning what? Jesus will crush your head, but you will bite, you will crush his heel. And I often use this as an example. If I would take something and I would take it and whack you on the head, what would happen? If you had a hammer, you would die, okay? But if I took the same thing and I whacked you on your foot, on the heel, what would happen? You would hurt, you would suffer. Well, think about it that way. Yes, Satan made Jesus suffer. He led the people to crucify Jesus. But when Jesus died on that cross, he crushed Satan's head. He destroyed him. His power was lost. It was gone. And Jesus has won. This is the first gospel promise that God will send Jesus to come, to die, to forgive our sins, to destroy Satan's power over us. And so when you read this, look at that verse. It's in some ways a little bit hard sometimes, but I hope my explanation helped you understand. This is the first promise, the gospel, that Jesus will come to forgive you and I. God bless you and give you his love and forgiveness.